can you turn down your sound on there or no? Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. This is a special edition of Turn the Page. We have Oksana and Ephisia, excuse me, joining me today. Oksana, your specialty seems to be in a lot of different areas. And hypnosis is the main one, right?
Yeah.
And well, go ahead. Why don't you tell us what area of expertise you have in your intuition?
Well, I do regressive hypnosis, but I do it a little differently. It's usually that most people on this planet are interfered one way or another. And those who interfere with them are usually either beings or alien beings, or, from different dimensions, or just even disincarnated or spirits, or it doesn't matter. But they would usually not want them to get rid of them because they take their energy and they live on the energy of those people. So they would block their vision. And that's why the way I do most of my sessions is when I just go into trance for the client, and the client just sits and listens to what his or her subconscious talks through me, conveys through me to the client all the information. Then they can ask questions along the way. And what we do is we go to the very previous life before the very first incarnation on Earth to see how they got here, whether that was their free will, personal choice, or they got caught in one of the traps, or there's a lot of ways to get here, and a lot of souls are forced to incarnate on Earth. And then we go through the contracts, implants, how do they control them? They take out the etheric implants, destroy contracts, and get rid of those beings behind them, open a portal and throw them all out. A lot of times people just come back after the session. They feel like their vision is better, their third eye is open, there are no implants in the head anymore blocking it. So they come back and they themselves go into trance just to feel how it feels and do, sometimes they work for their relatives or kids or things like that. And we do a lot of investigation sessions too, just to help people with information. Well, that's the whole idea of posting even personal sessions is for information. So information, knowledge is power. By knowing how the mechanisms of interference work, how they control you, you can set yourself free. So
that's beautiful. Felicia, do you want to tell us about, I don't like to call them gifts because everybody has this within them, but could you just tell us what the type of modalities that you work with?
I mean, Oksana basically, she told everything what we do. I do the same. Basically, I use two methods because I'm graduating with the academy here. Is a past life regression therapy, and obviously for some session it's better to see the client face to face, especially when we do body memory therapy, when basically we'll heal the trauma of the client and abuse, mental abuse, and we connect with a past life to understand who was the perpetrator and why the perpetrator chose in that life, which has connection in this current life, the client. That is really, really powerful method. It always covers the past life regression therapy. And we do inner child as well, spirit release, attachment, and obviously the journey as a tourist, if people is curious to know, how many lives they had the first time they incarnated. And because in this life, there are a particular life or two that has impact with this current life, that that has memory in our body, because in the DNA we have the memory. and which basically when we have a crisis of emotional crisis, anger, anxiety, frustration, most of the people activate a part of the body where we call the attachment, the trauma is there, squatting in your body. We need to remove, which in esoteric we call implant, intrusive energy. And then I use the tarots. I do tarot readings because this is my job. I work night shifts. I cover USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, some countries of Europe. Oh, the people who like, they're night owls basically. But most of my clients, they basically are, all the, people that are the daytime, the clock time is different from Europe. And I use my intuition with my tarots, which is my third eye after a lot of work with myself. Is I can tell is opening every day more and more and more, and that make me much easy to to perform with a reading with the clients. Sorry, I think I talk too much.
That's right. And as most of my viewers know, that I do multiple things. I have Turn the Page on YouTube and other social media sites. But I do interviews, and then I just do, I just come on and I just have a chat with the viewers, if you will, like coffee in the morning type of thing. But aside from that, I have been reading Akashic Records. I've been trained in Akashic Records, and I've been certified. And my next step into reading will eventually be into training others how to read. So Akashic Records are a much higher dimension, if you will, than at the psychic level. But I also do get information of loved ones that have passed on. And for some reason, when I first got into the energy, that's what I was seeing most of the time, were their loved ones. But then it became much more deeper, where I was able to channel, and I'm not sure, who I am actually channeling, but it's my God essence, my higher self, to God, to bring the information down into me to be able to access the records. And I do that with opening a prayer and closing the records with a prayer. So I work very, very well with individuals, and it doesn't matter where you are at. It allows me to read your energy, whether I see you or don't see you. And you don't even have to be present in front of a camera with me. But it's all healing, and it's giving you information, could be past, present, and even future, and taking that information. But you have to do the work. Everyone has to continue to do their own work. And I prefer that if you wanted to come back for a second type of a reading, that you would have done the work. And I'm starting to see it. People are starting to come back the second time, and I can just see the joy in their face, because they're taking the responsibility of their life, because we have all been brainwashed by, just being on this planet from the time that we incarnated, and been told lies, and now we are undoing those patterns, if you will. And so I offer readings, and next year I'm going to be offering group soul readings. So that's pretty much what I do. And I have my friend here with me today because the three of us, our energy is so powerful that we usually knock out I don't know what we knock out, the internet one time, right? And another time we just couldn't get the video to go across. So, but this is my beautiful amethyst that I found in a bookstore. It's actually, and I just want to show this, it's the actual whole shell. It's half a shell. So this is what you find in the ocean. And it was cut in half. I actually wanted the other half. The owner of the bookstore would not sell me the other half. But when I walked past this in the bookstore, it spoke to me so much, I had to go back and get it. So and it's one heavy stone. But it's here today as an aid to help us with the negativity of the energy. So with that said, let's get going here. Oksana, I'm going to start with you, and can you talk a little bit more in reference to what we mentioned before we started recording, and if you have any additional information about Stargate?
Yeah, I just had a session right before. It was a client session, actually in Russian, and posted. And he was the one who came here with two members of his crew from a different universe originally, I think. But there is a lot of souls coming from different universes to help out and so we could all see a grand finale of this mess that we're in, that it feels like mess, but it's actually, it has to be, everything has to be broken to build something new and beautiful on the ruins of the old, because you cannot fix the old, definitely. It's too screwed up. And I saw like Earth, and then I saw the way the original Earth was, how they did it. They basically put a layer of matrix that is totally artificial on top. There's just a little looks kind of like a noble part with all around it is water, because Earth is water planet. And that's where on this little spot there's all the 7 continents, poles and everything. So basically we're living on, let's say, 15% of the whole Earth that is available for us. And they froze the waters on purpose. You know, the water was not frozen. We didn't have this extreme weather like Antarctica and Antarctica. And on that other side, right by the side of the end of it, from one point, I mean, depends from which kind of point you look, which angle, there's a huge Stargate portal that used to connect Earth, as we're in the corner of the universe, as I see, connect us to other universes. And it was like also connected to the other 7 portals, just like a portal system. When you open the Stargate, the portals open automatically. Yeah, you know, it's kind of like a chain reaction. It's an anchor or a catalyst for everything to emerge. So just like that statue by Vatican, you know, sphere inside the sphere. So they basically, what they did, they closed up the Stargate as like a giant portal or a hole type of thing that they put. The client subconscious showed it to me as a metaphor, as a cork in the bottle. So, and then, you know, if you shake up the champagne, the cork would fly out. So right now, with all this protest and all this commotion going on, with people finally realizing, wait, you can't push us to this limit, you know, take away all our rights. So at some point, it's just going to fly out. And this client's soul, in particular, came to this planet waiting for this fireworks or the explosion, let's say, of the consciousness of, you know, when you reach the finish line, that's when everything starts happening. And it's a lot like we are right in it. We are right in this happening now, basically, because right now it's very choppy kind of sea that I see. It's a lot of storms coming one after another, multiplying in force, but then it's gonna just reach the boiling point, and here you got the whole surface. You can move, you can relocate, you can group into groups by your vibration, by your consciousness level, and create what you want, because original Earth was designed for creation, for creators to come and create what they want to create. And that would be the diversity of it. It's so amazing. Look at the animals, fauna, flora, you know, all this. That's how we're supposed to do it here. And we're supposed to respect each other's creation, not fight. This is all artificially, as well as viruses, bacteria, all this, wars, hatreds, all artificially designed and created. But the whole layer that I see, the base of it, the energy is totally here. That's the energy frequency of fear that is under our feet, basically. that we
So
walk
do
on.
you actually see the division of this planet coming together?
It's all like we're all merged. It's all dimensions and beings existing in the same time and space type thing, because time is the infused time into a whole thing. Yeah, and then because we only certain beings resonate with certain beings, right? So right now, look how your life is going. If you made this decision, it brings you to this kind of people. So we got together because of our consciousness level, our understanding of everything, our knowledge, right? Other people are kind of separate. They're doing what the herd is doing. But
Yeah, that's a great point. That is a great point, because the number one question in if you want to like pull the cards on this, I know that one time I actually asked a question, what percentage of the people that are sleeping, but I know that that question doesn't apply because a lot more are awake now. But what happens with the people is our vibrations and our frequency rises. Um, what will happen with the people that are still sleeping? Has anyone ever asked that question? Like, where will, you know, if we go from third dimension to fourth dimension, what happens to the sleepers? Did you want to give ask the cards that?
Yeah,
Ah,
they're
yeah.
sleeping, you see, and they are in despair. They're basically they are like it reminds me even one thought of Oksana, that I feel that they're like in capsules, these containers, and they are most of clones, and they are just bodies here, and that they are suffering, they are on fear, and this unfortunately is the people that get sick very easily, and because they still sleeping, and there's wars that are coming from, from the sky, is basically these vibrations, this program that
Yes.
they created for them, because they're still sleeping, unfortunately. But there is basically a way to make them wake up if the consciousness they really want, because I mean, we need to free them from the containers first,
Yes.
and
And
then
that's what Oksana was basically alluding to, the matrix, right? Oksana,
Mhm.
they're still in this matrix where I honestly believe all of us light workers have never been in the matrix. I always feel that we may have been considered rebels, right? That or else normies could not think outside the box, where they worked really well in large corporations or anything that followed the society's way, where we were like, oh God, I just don't fit in, that type of thing, right? It's just kind of like, where am I going to fit in? Well, I think we all fit in now, and they don't. So that's how I feel about it. Oksana, do you see that eventually there will be maybe like a certain percentage that will just never wake up?
yeah, it depends on what's the percentage of your soul is present in the body, because a lot of them lost so much and there's only barely, tiny percentage left. So, and the other ones are controlled by the alien beings, or they in the labs and experimental labs that aliens own in the astral, on their starships, or in capsules. It depends. There's platforms kilometers long with capsules filled with energy body of people who are actually incarnated on Earth. The energy bodies are not even present. It's just the energy, tiny little percentage flowing into the physical body. So those people are going to be the ones. Why do you think they're building so many buildings in downtown everywhere, in all the major cities? I mean, Canadians tell me, why the building? We're all moving actually to the land where the forests are to be closer to nature. But they build the same here in Chicago, tons of new buildings. And I understand this is for sleepers. This is for people who choose the system. They're going to be basically living in the same space we are, but look how separate we're gonna be. We're gonna be with the forest life, in the with the nature, in the nature, and they're gonna be on this concrete around everywhere. So
That is good. What you were saying, because this is the Four of Wands basically is a new home, a new location, new energy, a cleanse of the energy where you live. In that case, makes sense, when you say that people live in this, a forest of, buildings,
Yeah.
encapsulated, because, and the energy is heavy because imagine a skyscrapers, yeah? With all people, they are basically with the syrup, and they have fear, and they are afraid of everything. And they arguing. The motivation is over because what they do is just surviving. They're just bodies that eat, work, and they don't think anymore with their own brain. This is why this card says that there will be a big change of energy, a movement, like the gypsies, the nomads that they move. There will be nomads, people that they're going to live in places where they are more healthy, woodland, forests, near the ocean, the sea, because they need breathe, they need to connect with the water, lakes, rivers, even mountains with the snow, because it's always water, even if they're frozen. And I connect this planet because the planet is a woman, yeah, it has a female energy, and men's they will going to get more female energy, so they're going to be more in touch with their thoughts, though they will be less materialistic, less aggressive, more human, kind. And women, they're quite weak, they're scared, they're looking for a man because the man is the protector. No, man is equal like you. He has his duty, you have your duty, but we are in the same line. So women, they need a little bit more man energy, yeah, a male energy. That's it. She's a sharing. This is why this woman here showed the sword. Like, we are rebels, yeah.
Yeah.
We are rebels, but with peace. We don't want to be slaves, basically.
Yeah, the information that I get is when the globalists, or whatever you want to call them, and I've got to be very careful, but I hope everybody knows what I'm referring to. The whole MK Ultra has been done through technology on many levels. It's set up so that that if you get on a particular computer or a device, you're running down rabbit holes, and it's keeping you dummied down. And all of that will change in the near future as the people move out to the getting connected with the nature again, Mother Nature, and really understanding what their purpose is here is to serve others and not to serve self. Right now, I think that the communities in the big cities is a development from just being able to keep people as slaves, keep them confined within a particular area. You, like you said, you work, eat, and sleep, and you don't have to go far because you are actually being controlled by whether it's a corporation, whatever it might be. But that's part of the breaking away from the matrix, right? Is be able to be a free thinker, serve others, serving as a humanity as we do with healing. And I truly believe that is all. That's what the last few years is, to bring us to the awareness, and from the past to the present, and understanding what that is, and to remove the fear that we have within ourselves. So as you remove the fear, you raise up your vibration and frequency, and then the planet will change. Oksana, you said something to me earlier, I think, about the planet. Do you actually see, or that there is when we go to another dimension, say from the third to the fifth, is there another whole new planet? Or is it just this planet will be, the vibration, everything will change of what we're on here today? I've heard people out there saying that there's another twin planet of Earth. I just want to get what you get from that. and what it might actually be.
Yeah, back in 2016 when I woke up and I had a regressive hypnosis session for myself, I saw like planet Earth going into infinity, different projections of them and different densities. What I see now, I also see like a spiral. On one planet, there's a spiral of dimensions. It just basically connects you to other, but you go as like levels, right? Each level has its own programs. We're abandoning the old programs. We're already done with them. You know, we no longer have fear in us. We understand what it leads to. You know, we processed all the basically like, so that software doesn't apply to us anymore. It doesn't work with us. So we move to upper level, higher understanding level, and more like soul oriented, um, so spiritual oriented. And the other people are still, and we leave the survival habit or programming behind because we understand there's enough for everybody, and you know, we can just exchange services. We don't need money system. We'll leave that behind also. So I believe that there's going to be a transition system, and we're gonna just leave it behind altogether because we're gonna form this eco villages or whatever. They already exist all over the world. It's amazing. Look online, you know, there's so many. That's where people live. It's almost like a huge, beautiful Amish community in a way. They produce what they need, and they're all in nature, and they're usually in pretty warm climate, but the whole earth is going to shift the climate. And then all the ice is going to melt, but in a slow motion. It's not going to be like something tragic or traumatic event happening like, you know, they always predict with those books that you read. No, I mean, it's just gonna kind of form. It's gonna go back to, let's say, water planet, but the continents are gonna be still up and going, except they're gonna be going to merge with each other, and we're gonna be closer to each other. I don't see peninsulas anymore, like, you know, sticking out. I see them more like kind of forming into the big Plato type thing with time. I mean, it's going to happen with time. But climate-wise, it's going to be nice and warm everywhere. It's supposed to be comfortable. It's not supposed to be extreme heat or extreme cold like that. It wasn't meant to be like that. They created
a lot of it was weather warfare or whatever they call it, right? A lot of it wasn't even Mother Nature that was doing a lot of this. I have a question for the cards. The light workers right now is three of us are. Where do you see our role once we get into the new density? I have some information that's coming in on that, but I want to see what the cards come up with. So the information that I am getting is that they're doing the healing will now be the teachers. So in other words, we can continue to do some of the healing, but we need to be able to teach the ones to be able to heal themselves. And then could you ask the cards that question? What is our role for the future as our light workers? As we change, will our roles change?
Mm-hmm. Okay. First, I can say without see the cards that we are in the age of Aquarius, and obviously is a very important age. And there will be a lot of innovation. There will be new jobs that they don't exist right now. There will be new teaching, a new way to teach children, and finally remove all this basic crap that they teach that they don't need in life, basically. Yes, the teacher is here. Yeah, there will be a form of celebration. It's like, after a disaster is we rebuild everything. Yeah. This year was definitely the the planet had, was affected with sickness, wars, even nature forces was with tsunamis and earthquakes. Yes, basically the teacher says that we need to teach the children. There will be a new generation, and there will be basically a redemption. And we are teachers. Okay, the children they learn to be teachers themselves. They learn to be they own doctors, they own nutritionists. They will basically, a child from since it's born is already listen they teachers, they are the parents. Yeah, because everybody become healer, because it's a new style of life. Basically, this is why I have even the discovery of the Americas. Yeah, Christopher Columbus here, because it's a new world is arriving. Sorry, because if I put too close, whoops, it disappears.
She
So I had to put.
She does.
Yeah, you can see. This is basically the judgment. It's like a rebirth. All the let's say all the people that they was sleeping, they will going to be awake, and they had a redemption. Basically, there will be people that they are already awake, but this is most for the people that are in the containers, that they will be free, because the containers, they will be open automatically. And the teacher, the Hierophant, is saying that we will learn to be our own teachers and create a different vibration, our vibration will create a different atmosphere. Even the nature, we're going to be in tune. We're going to be more respectful of the animals. We're going to feel, we're going to listen the animals' needs, the plants, the soil. Because when we walk barefoot, we can feel the vibration of the mother heart, when she want to talk with us. Yes, this is basically this new world, what is this density that we call, will going to make these changes. And I think, Oksana, I always thought that because the ice that is melting is giving us more information, the fluid, because we are water. We are 70% of water, and water has memory.
Right.
And because we was already in this matrix, and now we are finally, we are remembering. Yeah. So it's, I'm very optimistic, and I really, really feel that. I perceive that it's a change, a big change. It's a movement, and like the birds in the sky, that they move in the same. So we will be more connected with each other. People starting to stop, uh, less PlayStation, less garbage news, with the false information. Switch off the TV. And yes, listen to the music. I love music. Music is vibration anyway. But stop and listen even the music of the sea, the sound of the rain. I mean, because this is meditation. This is hypnotic. It's beautiful, and you can connect with your eye self. Even the wind is bringing you news. If you really, because people, I hate this wind. Oh, it's raining. Oh gosh, it's cold. Why don't you don't stop and you go in tune with this planet? Because this is the planet is basically is our house. Even we are integrated in this planet, but still we was, we arrived later basically, so we are guests, which now we call home. But we come from the sky. So this is what I perceive, that this is what I feel, that will become teachers, healers, and that will be this new, basically, way to live and to think and to respect.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Nikola Tesla. Are you familiar with who he is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Pardon?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I've done a lot of interesting.
He's a superstar.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, he did all of this back in the 1900s with, you know, energy, electricity, and it was all free in all these buildings that were designed to be towers to, you know, allow us to basically, well, there were electricity towers, right? So, you know, he figured out a way how to do this. And some of these old countries, the older countries, were set up with all these buildings, and they turned a lot of them into churches, right? And then he had a device in there to be able to, and they took anything that was round and they put a clock in there, and they just totally changed it. Do you guys, or Oksana, with Nikola Tesla's ideas that he has patented? I'm just wondering that if we're going to get back to that, and also too that is, it's like two different questions here, but our DNA has been, you know, we don't is not in full capacity what we're capable of doing with our DNA. So the first question would be to you: do you see us moving into that new world with Nikola Tesla's engineering ideas, and also too how, you know, will, as we change, is our DNA going to change?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, well, that's what we do in sessions. When you remove all the implants, you work on your DNA. If there was any hybridization, which they do a lot to people, you go back to your original state of DNA. You basically remove any technology that was blocking your original DNA strands. And that's when you are kind of ready to merge in with the new frequency of the new world, let's say, because it's like this old example of radio waves and different frequencies and channels. It's the same thing. Basically, we're going to be in one timeline, which is one channel, and then this other people we also see, but they're in a totally different timeline, and they have all kinds of problems in their lives because they're bringing them on by fear and by believing life is hard, and we're experiencing life totally different, in harmony with nature and symbiotic relationship with animals, and enjoying ourselves and healing ourselves. Basically, everybody's healing abilities are going to be open through this DNA kind of activation. And activate, you can do it yourself. You don't have to wait for any solar waves to do it. You just, that's what my clients do in sessions, for instance. You can do it yourself just by wanting to do it. I want all my DNA to be activated because you're in power. And the whole idea and point that Ephesians was making, I 100% agree with that everybody should understand and hold the responsibility as an individual creator being who already has all the abilities of self-healing. You just have to start believing in yourself and start practicing them, because even with the more you do telepathic, the more I do sessions, the more I see type thing idea, the more healing I do on myself, the more I believe in myself and I can heal others even in a more efficient way. So it's kind of like that, and the kids are our best, the children are our best teachers. They, before they go to school, that's like they just ask them a lot of questions. What do they see? Do they see these beings or that? What did they see in the dreams? And they openly tell you what they think about others too, and it's always on target. It's amazing because they didn't shut down their abilities yet, you know?
Yeah, that before these answers, if you pull the cards on her, I just wanted to make a comment to that. When we're all very little, they see in the parents, some of the parents that are normies, if you will, they tell everyone that their child has a wild imagination, right? And there's some that say, okay, I had a wild imagination, and there's us that we know that we didn't have the wild imagination, and we know we remembered, we know our truths. And so I believe, I agree with you, Oksana, or both of you actually, the new children that are coming in are going to be, I think, you know, the teachers, they're going to, you know, be very pivotal moving forward. And I actually, my information is coming in around the year of 2025, where we're going to start seeing these children. Where do you guys think that these children are coming from? What planet?
It's like crystal rain. I see that a lot. It's pouring into our planet. They're different. It's, you know what I see? Through the sun come different rays of light. They're multicolored. That's why the rainbow warriors and all this. And it's like a tunnel of light, and through that tunnel, like souls flying through. They're usually crystalline in nature. That's what I see, and they carry different. Some of them are rainbow. Some of them are, you know, transparent means rainbow too, and different if light shines through it. Some of them are blue, indigo. Others are, they're all different, but they bring this all different qualities, and to show to their parents even what they can do. And there's some program, and they came up with there's something we came up with up there when we're without these bodies, that I see myself, that these are the ones they're not going to forget who they are. They're really going to remember. No matter what their parents decide to do with them, they're going to repel any chemical substances, anything put in their body artificially. They just got, they're very strong souls. But it resonates with the new programming. They don't even understand what it means to be fearful of things, or, you know, it's more that the parents would try to teach them that, like they usually do, or they're not going to be in the survival. They're just going to know it's going to, they have a built-in software of the other programs of the new world. You know, it's enough for everybody. Everything we need is here. There's no, you don't have to fight for it. You don't have to, you know. You can.
Yeah, they're gonna have the healing built in. They're gonna know, be very intuitive, know about the past, know about the present, know how to stay in the present, and also know what's the future. So it's what we know now, but at a much higher frequency, where if there's somebody that is negative, let's say, they will know that right away, and they'll make decisions about that. I don't think moving forward we'll have a lot of evil on the planet. What do you what does the card say about that?
Yes, I see that there will be. I had this word when you guys was talking, and even see with the card, because the strange card, the psychic, the number 8, which is the infinity, the split, yeah, the 2-0, show that we become very confident. I believe a confident person is powerful, because when you are confident, you are basically protected. You protect your energy field. Because when you're confident, you have conviction. If you have the conviction, you have the determination. So I have this word, synchronicity. So there will be a synchronicity with the child that arrives, and the grandparents, they go, and they basically are the masters, you know, that they basically basically they have done the job here, and they go in there to give back the new information to the new child. The new child arrives already like being in school, in university, because the grandparents, they give to them something, because the grandparents, they will be the next children. I don't know if it does make sense to you guys what I'm trying to say. I see there will be a different, you know, the children finally behave as a children. They come back children, because we robbed. I mean, the society, this basically program robbed of the innocence, the childhood, because children now, they are forced to do everything and to learn in time, because if you know, you can be imaginated by another child. If at 5 years old you don't know to write or read, or you want to play because you get tired to stay 8 hours in school, for a child is not an adult. So we complain because we are sitting in an office and we come back stressed. A child is, and they have all these problems. They call DHD. Or they are autistic, because we know why. But still, the syrup is damaging the children, and they are basically robbing the innocence. Okay, this fluid, this beautiful essence of a child, it will come back. And this is a beautiful card, which is the Fool. The Fool in this case is the way that you don't care, because a child doesn't have a fear. A child can jump, he think he can fly. He's free. Okay, and this is what he has to feel, the children, not living in with two narcissistic parents. You have to study, or with these what can I call, sorry for the expression, but Nazi parents, that they want a superstar in the family. They make them work very hard with an instrument, or like I see in China, these poor children do gymnastics or things that everybody, oh wow, it's so talented, but we know the abuse that is behind, because of this money. So this is why I'm agree with Oksana. There will be not money in the future. There will be a different way to share. We call barato in old Latin. When I give you a piece of bread, you give me, a piece of, a vegetable in exchange. Yeah, I feel that this is what I see. I feel this word synchronicity. There will be more synchronicity. Yeah, the people go, the people arrive, but they is like, oh, when you run,
Yes,
you give the 400 meters. I remember the word testimone is in Italian, but I don't know in English. I don't remember the name. Testimone. Oh, okay.
What I'm actually getting from the records right now is that these children that will be coming in the future is so today we have, when we get ready to incarnate, we pick and choose, right, who our parents are going to be. I feel that this is, we're all given lessons, but when they come back, when they come into incarnate again, they're going to remember a lot more, and they're also going to remember who they are. So they can't be, their energy won't be able to be stifled or be told what to do. They're going to know what they came in to do, and to help humanity and help others. And their life is going to be a lot longer than, a lot of us in this world live to maybe 70. Sometimes you hear 90. Very few do you hear over 100. But I feel that they're going to come in, their lives are going to be very much longer, and their main role is they're going to pick what their humanity is, right? What their job is to help humanity, and it's almost like they're going to be very successful with that.
Right. We're basically helping ourselves with all this, because partially those children are us. It's from our, we call it higher self energy, or also, it's always like this. But also, not everybody is given a choice to how you want to incarnate. And because if you have a being in your energy sphere that you somehow signed a contract with, through them lying to you, that they can manipulate your decisions also. I mean, there are clients who literally remember how they would say, no, I'm not going for incarnation, I'm tired, I don't want to go, and they are pushed into the portal to incarnate. And a lot of starseeds grew up in a very abusive families. I mean, it's amazing what sort of abuse some people have gone through in the childhood. And those are
you're saying you don't think that when they incarnated that they picked an abusive family to learn their lesson?
No, it's what the New Age kind of teaching. It's a false teaching, wants you to believe, so you accept it. But the truth is that they actually, so many people, like people who wanted to bring knowledge here, the system wanted to shut them up. How do you shut them up? You beat them up every day. Your mom or dad beats you up, or they tell you not to ever speak up for what you think, or this in the or the school system, or your parents or your relatives, or something terrible happens, chain of events. So you're so damaged, you're even afraid of showing your face up. A lot of people have this fear to showing up in the videos after this traumatic events in their lives. Because
Oksana, I kind of agree to disagree with you on that, only because of the fact that everybody that's been on this planet the last, say, 50, 60 years and beyond that have all been damaged at one point. So why would somebody incarnate and not have the choice to, how do I want to say this? So if you have a contract when you're coming in and you're going to pick a family, right? And it's that soul family that you travel with all the time. And one might be, the parents might be alcoholics. Are you saying that they don't have a choice of reincarnating with that same family, or they don't have they don't have a choice? Or how do I put this? Yeah, I guess that's the question. They don't have the choice to not incarnate with the family. In other words, I see that everybody has trauma issues across the board because it's generation of generations. So say we start from the 1900s when probably things were really good for people, and then you got to 1930 where the globalist people, whatever you want to call them, deep state, I can't say certain words, but you guys know the families I'm referring to, when they started to do this MK Ultra and making us slaves and changing the money structure and all of that, and the corporations and overseeing so much. They had so much money and so much power that they control everything to control us. So let's just say it's 1970 and I'm going to incarnate, right? And I come in and so there's been generations since then where the families have been traumatized, or there's just sex abuse, whatever it is. That's present in just about every family, but you've got to incarnate into one of these families. So it's kind of like you say, all right, I'll choose the alcoholic family, but what I will do is not become an alcoholic, right? You're going to go against the odds to be the success story. That's just what I'm getting in that information. So it might be what you're saying too. Or it might not be. I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're both correct. I mean, all of those. Look at my child. I mean, when my 11-year-old was 2.5, she told me that 4 reptilians came to her elf planet, took her away from her family and make her incarnate here. And before they made her incarnate here, they brought her to a big house in the sky where there was a big screen that were showing her which mom she would pick. So those gave her a choice. She came to me by vibration, by frequency, right? In my case, I have different parallels. One parallel, I came as a second wave of volunteers, voluntarily by myself. Here's another one that the giants forced me, all found out from different sessions with different people, even with different telepaths who were doing the work I do right now as a telepath in my own sessions with clients. The giants caught me as a scientist and made me incarnate a nurse. Yet in another one, they took me as a little boy from Series A. The Nazis who came here there took me and made me incarnate here, separated me from the family. Pretty much different ways of doing it. So there's no one. So everybody has his own truth. And there are multiple truths. There's so many timelines and realities and ways how they got here. And also we are like crystals. There are different sides of a crystal. which one do you kind of look at? A lot of times I see that people are forced to incarnate to this terrible family because they have amazing gifts, and if they let them incarnate, if the matrix let them incarnate in a nice family with a very understanding mother, let's say like I listen to my kids, I say, you're my best teachers, tell me what you feel, see, and give me advice. I appreciate that. They would blossom faster. They would not have to figure it out in a later age. Of course, the strong souls, of course, they'll wake up and figure it out, but much later, let's say, right?
Yes, that you put that really well. I think that I was trying to come across with that, but thank you so much. What do the cards have to say? Anything?
Oh, absolutely, they confirm what you guys says, because this is the wise female energy here talking, both of you, and then the child, that is the explorer, yes, to this new, that he can decide. Both you guys, right? But I have this big information again, a big 8 again, number 8, which is the traveler, yeah. Travels around the world. Sometimes they choose, yes, the alcoholic family, but sometimes they even can choose, okay, instead to with the European alcoholics, this time I want to go in South America or in China. Sometimes, because we live, we was talking even on another session, Oksana, that sometimes we split ourselves into experience in one. Okay, because this experience is not because we have to learn, or not, because apparently this is what I perceive and I dream. I felt like that more problems we have since obviously with this vibration in this planet, more problems we have in the young age, more you become wise around the 40s, 50s, because you have to finish something, basically your duty, why you arrived here. And because the time here does not exist, like I said the other day, maybe, 100 years of humans is, for our soul, is maybe, I don't know, 1 week at a retreat for us. So basically it can be hard the first 2 days, but then it will be this release. But it's because if the children, they want to, born in a family very wealthy, Madonna children that have everything, or the presidents of every state in the world, that they have everything. Look, the percentage of these children, how unhappy they are, how they become. They don't know to work. They don't respect. They just arrogant. I don't say that everybody is like that, but in general, I noticed that the children that have everything from the beginning, they don't know how to how to provide of themselves, and they treat other people bad because the dad, the mom, because they live in a castle, because they live in. And what's happened is, this is the reverse. So they basically, when they arrive at the 40s, they are completely damaged. And usually these people, if they arrive to the 60s, they're very lucky. This is what I perceive, even because it says, okay, all right. It's not nice because many children, unfortunately, they die even as a babies in the 2 years old because of abuse. Children that they rape, that basically are broken completely. It's like a lottery, because I think the soul knows that we have a fantastic high consciousness. We are telepathic. We have everything, but we have a human body. We have this carriage here that is very vulnerable. Okay, you can be strong here or learn to be strong eventually, but this body, if you don't treat with respect, like a temple, you crash. Okay, but the children, they are vulnerable anyway, so if they can, I felt this, that sometimes they choose to live in 2 different realities.
Oh.
Negative and a positive. This is why we are 2. two eyes. This is why we have hot and cold, happy and sad. So we have a perfect, we are a perfect traffic light. So
like left brain, right brain.
yeah, and but we this is why the entities, they choose to attack us through our emotions, anger, happiness. If you are too happy, it's because you are probably a junk, because you are, you know, or snorting, because this is excess of happiness or excess of insecurity, alcohol, everything. So I mean, I think I'm getting a bit too expanded now, but
Substances connected to regular
yeah, because let's have a fun. Let's let them, you know, girls, drugs, sex, and rock and roll. This is the what some people perceive as a happiness of wow.
and depending consciousness level,
Exactly.
plans is again. So there are you know, those reptilians or races or other groups a lot of times create fake star family idea groups. You know, they just grab souls from different traps that they set up around the universe, and they, hey, you're the family. You have to incarnate over and over again together and suffer through different situations. Sometimes it's even the same situation that repeats over and over. So there's so many, see, but yes, sometimes actually a star family decides to incarnate on Earth to help everybody. So you can be correct. You know, you will correct. Well, that's what I mean. There's no correct or incorrect answer. There are all these variations of how it can be. See,
And the
Free
universe,
will, right?
and the universe has sorry, I interrupt you. You know, the universe has different beings that they have a different policy. So we can be kidnapped as well. We can't necessarily decide. We can be hypnotized even without a body. So we can be, you know, apparently in my first life in this planet, because I come from another universe, I wanted to experience this planet. I wanted a body. And then basically I was kidnapped by a dragoon, a draconian, yeah. And they basically put me back in this massive container with all these souls, like you know, ghosts. They was counting. Okay, next. So my parents, my granddads, they was going, and I was following this, you know, energy of. And then I mean, I didn't decide in that. I mean, because I was already an independent being, soul from another universe. But and they basically, you know, I thought I was a human, and then I decided I wanted to be a camel in the old Egypt. And they beat me up. I was like, you know, a car for them. You know, they didn't show me affection. And I was so sad that I died with broken heart because I was exhausted. And basically, this experience was so tragic that when my soul, you know, went out, I was so shocked, that I couldn't, you know, with lucidity think what I do next now, what I want to do. So they just Draconia, kidnapped me, you know, because he was vulnerable. Because when we leave our body, when we pass, is still a trauma.
In trauma generation, we're weak.
If we're not awake, it's a trauma. If we are, no, we remember what's happened, then we are okay. And you know, the entities, they say, come with us, or come with here because we want to say, no. You know, I know the road, I know the way, because when you say yes, this is the contract when it starts. I mean, obviously, I feel that makes sense to me in that way.
Yes,
That was excellent. I think I've got like maybe one more question, and Fisa, I think that you brought it up. We want to kind of talk about the possibility of our new year is right around the corner, right? We're only a few weeks away from it, and so I guess we'll start with Oksana on that, if and then you can pull the cards, right? I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. We have been through so much through 2021, so 2022. Is it going to get better, or is it going to be a little tough before it gets a little bit better? I guess that's the question.
You know, it's really interesting. Once again, right before this meeting with you, I had the session for a client, and number 6 again came up as a knowledge, as a number of knowledge, frequency of knowledge. So 2022 equals 9, because his 6 was turning into 9. The strength of his DNA was 69, which turned into 2 6s back to back.
Ah.
You know, it's like 6 or 9. 9 is the end of the old. 29.
Gemini.
22, yeah, like 6. So 222 is 6, right? Which turning into 9, which is the era of knowledge, and the end of the old as 9 as you turn it.
Yeah, completion, right? Completion?
Yeah, that's what I feel.
This year, especially the end of the year, will be again in every reading we do with our session ladies. I had always number 8, and this is the magician, is the wizard. So I think the people start. It will be a new energy. We had already a solar eclipse, which completely I was oof. I was flying completely. I feel shifted, I feel much better, stronger, and the high vibration, thanks even to the planet, the frequencies are changing. They're rising very high. So be careful, people, that they suffer of anxiety, they suffer of anger, because will be amplified quite a lot. I can say, 100. I feel 100 times. So people can do crazy things. People that are angry, they can be too impulsive. They can do things that they regret forever. But people are positive. The people who really want to succeed, to make changes, will be amplified 100 times. So yes, this is the year of the wizard, and all the people that they think that this 22 is about money, they're wrong, because they find a shelter. Even the poor, they never become poor, because there is always a solution. There is in the cards here, there is a church. It is a salvation, basically. I talk metaphorically, but it's always a solution for everybody. Don't be corrupted by fame, by this media, social media, TikTok, because every day are teaching the children to be famous, to be stupid, to embarrass themselves in order to have attention of everybody. Start to have a dignity. And so I see people that they going to take back their own dignity. Even if you're not rich, you are special. You are already rich. I know we need to live with money. And this year, 2022, will be a change even with the financial situation. It will be still slow. I'm talking about the people that really are, big expectation with money. But yes, by the end of the 2022, there will be a fantastic shift with the finances, because I can see I see a lot of people that they become independent. Okay, people they're starting to fed up to work for the same company, and they're starting to open their business. Everybody are creative. This is why it starts with the wizard, which is the creator. We are our own God. God is in us, and this is the star. This is the healer. Okay, so we become healers even this year, at the end of the year, and we create our own wealth. without, you know what I mean, sell our soul, our dignity for surviving, even for a syrup. Okay, this is where I can see there. So even there will be lot important, you know, the moon. We're going to find out, because the justice will go even to court and to basically expose liars. There will be a lot of lies exposed in 2022. Okay, because the darkness, you know, the people they hide in it, they orchestrated everything that is happening now, they will be exposed. And that I feel by the end of this 2022, we're starting to finally to understand that everything was a big scam. We know what. Yeah. So, yes, the power of the men that they are strong, they are authoritarian, like, you know, presidents govern in the governments where the male, you know, as power, it become more soft. So it will be important for the wars, but I don't think there will be war between countries. I think will be more internal conflict because the people are tired. Okay, so the emperor become more soft with intellectual. You know, this is the king, which is intellectual. This is the emperor. This is the master. Okay, so will be basically the men become more wise, not quickly to take action or using the police to beat their own people. Okay, because they protest, because the people, they need to say something. You are there because of them, and you beat them up after. Come on. So it's, yeah.
I also see too that men will start to get in touch with their intuition, where women have always have done that, right? Yeah, I mean, it comes more natural to the female side of the energy. So I think what you were saying, and you said this a couple of times, if men is going to take in more of the feminine side, then they'll be more in touch with their intuition. And you know, they're still going to have a lot more estrogen, or not estrogen, but testosterone than we do. I mean, we still have to make sure. I think that they're still going to be very, very manly in their own, but take on more of an extra sense that they don't have today, because they watch the sports, they do other things where I feel that women kind of go outside of that, and they explore more because they know there's more to this being here, where men are work, right?
I mean, men, they don't lose, obviously, their masculinity. It's more about they express the feeling. They will be not embarrassed if they say, if they have a tear because this is something happening. They're more in touch with the emotions, you know. It's beautiful. This is the real man for me, that doesn't hide his emotion. I mean, obviously with you have always to protect yourself, but I mean, I'm talking about more, you know, in general, that the men become more in touch with his emotions. I mean, not a machine, not because you're a man, I expect to behave like a man. Who say this word? Because you're a man, I expect you to behave as a man. So what is the concept of a man? Because you have your trousers, because you have muscles. No, it's responsibility, commitment, love, affection for his wife, for his children.
Right.
And because he's a man, he can drink. Because he's a man, he can raise the voice in the family. And the woman that says, don't interrupt your father. It's not like that. It's more about, synchronicity. It's like, I mean, you wanted a family. You wanted that particular woman. Why now you are abusing her? Why you are treating your children like crap? I mean, because the society give too much responsibility to the man. He has to work and think and give the last word, because the woman must raise the children and clean up. I mean, it's not like that in these days, but still women, they work now and they clean when they come back home. Okay, they basically do double job, and the men as well. I mean, it's because the society gives too much responsibility. I think they are human, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, in this case, I said, let be a man, the real man, not the one that they created, you know.
Oh, Oksana, thank you very much for that. Oksana, been hearing things about the aliens coming to visit us soon. She's smiling. I know that they've been here, but they're going to be more. From what I'm hearing, is they're going to be more obvious to us, and even the good ones be able to explain or teach us more about the technologies that we're not even aware of. How do you what do you get on something like that? Do you think that's going to actually happen in 2022?
Well, it's slowly happening already, and it's been happening. We've been using these technologies in the underground, deep underground bases for a long, long time in SSP, and people know about it, but they just suppress. They wouldn't let you talk about it. They secretly use it. Aliens are basically, we are aliens also who come to our own selves, and part of me is in alien bodies who can show up in front of me one day or the other in a big spaceship and say hi. But it's not about that. I mean, there is underground bases where aliens work with military. The work was, they're everywhere, above, below, in between us. They just have knowledge.
So pretty much society has just decided that a majority of them have decided, and I hear a lot of people to say that they see the ships. They can go out in a night where there's no clouds and see them moving about and stuff like that. And I hear that more often than not. But I guess the percentage of society that still believes that they don't exist. So I guess where my question was alluding to is that if they're going to make more of their presence, then you're going to be hearing more of the stories of it, I guess. Are we ready for that? The ones who don't believe in it.
Yeah, it's not that they're already making their presence, but it's that the timelines are gonna merge, and the layers in between are gonna get thinner and thinner. They're gonna get thinned out. So more people are gonna raise their consciousness and knowledge. You raise your consciousness by acquiring more knowledge and understanding of certain things. And with that comes, opening your abilities to see them. They're already here. They're all around us. We just don't see them. We didn't open that. We don't believe that we can see them, or we don't believe in them. Once we get rid of the old 3D matrix programs, we'll start believing in something else. See how it goes? It goes hand in hand with your belief system. So
that's great.
Used to believe they'll never, unless they start believing.
Yeah, you have a lot of wealth and knowledge about timelines and stuff like that. I just think that that's wonderful. I think that next time you guys are on the show, Oksana, I'd like to pick up from that point there and maybe talk more about that. We didn't get around to talking about any current events, but we could always leave that for another show too. But do you guys have any parting words before we say goodbye, or even like how people can get a hold of you? You have a website, that type of thing. If you want to share that, go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I do have a website, except I homeschool my children, so I don't have much time to sit down with the person who did my website. Thank you very much. She's my former client, and yeah. So it's oksanabuchanan.com, but there's only what shows up there is all my videos from the YouTube. You can click on them, you can list through them. I didn't put much information, but if you want to acquire about the session, then you just email me at Marina, my guide at gmail.com. It's in the information box under each video. I write this email down.
They can see you on YouTube, right? They can go right to YouTube and get that information.
Right,
Yeah.
Oksana Buchanan / Regressive Hypnosis. That's the YouTube channel. Yeah, I can send you the links. You can put them in the video.
And just a couple more thoughts, or what's entailed with the hypnosis? Like if somebody is thinking right now, boy, I'd like to be able to reach out to her, but do you just let them know at the time that they make the appointment with you? What is involved with hypnosis and how you actually, what is your protocol for that?
Well, they usually they call it a reading. They ask me, how should I go about the reading with you? And they usually want me to go in hypnosis for them. So I go in, I ask the permission from their energy body, their essence, to connect to their subconscious. I connect to subconscious, and subconscious gives me all the information that their own soul wants their physical part to know through me. Sorry. And so we work from this point, and then we'll look at the energy body and the emotional mental bodies. We take out all the etheric implants, look at the beings or whatever attachments they have, or influences they might have to cleanse. It's just a complete cleansing of the subconscious, of the energy bodies, so they can be their own independent creators in their own life.
I just had somebody reach out to me about removing implants. Of course, that is not my area of expertise whatsoever, but I will forward that information to you. And I do believe they're in Europe somewhere. So yeah, so I will send that to you. And who is this?
This is Luli, my dog. He wanted to be as well,
He's beautiful.
Take me. He likes to be in my lap, sorry. Aww. And he wanted to say hello to everybody, Luli. My partner, Tal.
Yeah, he's like,
And Leticia, how do we reach you? And how does anybody reach you for your healings?
Okay, I use basically I started my channel, I think it was May, back in May or April, I don't remember. But because I'm currently studying and go to my exams, I do sessions as well in my channel in YouTube, Intrusive Energies Healing, Lupino, Lupino. This because there are others, apparently there are other the same name. Some people can't find me. This is why I add my name, E.Lupino, Lupino, yes, where I basically, I publish, the sessions, which I will go in 2022 to do some more. And sometimes I use basically remote viewing, which we call telepathic session. So we use another person which has a high visualization medium psychic skill, and and sometimes basically we do this as a proxy, because some people, they can't go in trance, they really struggle, they can see, or at the moment I don't use anybody but I'm open to, if people, they like to have this experience to help others. But I'm basically working directly like Oksana, but in probably a different method, because Oksana, she's a medium. But I help the client to visualize, I help them to go through to the visualization, even if they think, oh, this is only just I'm making up, because they have to basically dive in their own consciousness, in their own experience, because it's so intense that they release the trauma very, very super fast. And this is, I do one-to-one, yes, or proxy. Proxy we do with obviously without you with the help with the other with another person, the remote viewing for old elderly, for people that has dementia, for people that autistic children, for people that they don't have unfortunately the capacity to say yes, given my authorization, because we can't make through a third party session if the person don't give authorization. Okay, it's not fair.
Right, right.
Yes. And
Okay, well, thank.
in my social media, I never post my what I do. I put completely different things. I'm a joker, and I like in Facebook I put completely different things because I have a page which I open up, which I put the sessions. But even in Instagram, I don't really talk about what I do. But eventually I will going to open another in Instagram to just quickly, just briefly to basically to deliver the people to YouTube. Yeah.
Well,
That is-
I've got a website that's being developed right now, and I'm definitely going to post all of your information there. I believe I'm going to go live next week. They're just doing the final touches on it, and all these videos will be out there too. So I'll probably reach out to you guys if I need additional information on how they can contact you through the website. And I hope you enjoyed today's show on being Turn the Page. And I also do Akashic Records. So if you're going to post this on yours, I do the Akashic Record readings. And like I said, I do 3 different types of readings. And but I thank you again. And I look forward to, you having an open invitation, coming back anytime you feel like it. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Janine, to invite us. And, I say hello to everybody. Have a fantastic end of the year. Be positive, be optimistic, and because the best is to arrive if we really want.
You're in England, right? Are you in
Yeah,
England?
I'm based in England. I live here 22 years, but I'm come from Italy, Sardinia, which is a little island.
Is that off of Sicily?
Is opposite Sicily. Sardinia is basically is down coast, the French island, with the Italians give to France as a present. Can you imagine? Oh, I'm not Italian anymore. Oh, I'm French now because the king says, "Oh, I can give us a gift, a piece of our land." Yes, Corse is a little island on top of Sardinia, which is French. And Sardinia. This is my name, Ephesians. It's so difficult because it's a very old name that you can find only.
My family on my maternal side comes from Sicily, and
Oh, wow.
yes, and my mother actually made a trip there, and before she passed, and found she was sitting. This is an interesting story. You talk about coincidences. So she takes this tour to Italy, and she's I don't know what you want to call it, a very adventurous woman. She'll travel by herself. She breaks away from the tour because she wants to go to Sicily to see if she can find some of her family members, right? But she's timing this all out because she's got to get back into the tour thing. So she's sitting in a park, and some woman comes up to her and thinks she recognizes my mother because of her facial, and she looks familiar to her. And my mother says that she was actually looking for the Cusimano family because that's where her mother was a Cusimano. And this lady says, "You've got to be kidding. I'm related to you." Yeah. So my mother's energy was so strong. She put it out that she actually manifested a family member, and she got
Wow.
this lady was able to take her back and show her, where my grandmother came from and whatnot and stuff like that. And I actually just found out this story because I was doing a show on genealogy from my mother's second cousin, and that's how I found the story out. I didn't even know of it.
Wow, that is beautiful story. That is amazing.
The
Wow.
connections that we have, like obviously I know that the connections that I have that I feel for you guys, we've known each other before, right? That's the way it is.
Yeah,
Wow.
sure. Yep.
Amazing.
lot of work when our physical bodies are resting at night. So probably one of those locations also.
Yes, I wish I could remember. Some of them I remember, and a lot of them I don't. So when I wake up very tired, I know, oh boy, what was I doing? You know, when I left my body, I was tired. I could come back and I need more sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I told you, Oksana, that later on, it's like I living in. I am more connected with my trips because when I sleep, I don't sleep a lot these days. By the way, this is I'm feeling tired because I work night shifts. I'm struggle to go to sleep. So before our session, I was like, basically, I saw you guys. By the way, because I slept. Maybe I dream for about 5-10 minutes. I have a lucid dreams. I saw these big stairs. Oksana, listen, this is very important. I saw these stairs and I saw this massive light and I saw, I think it was, I can't say that it was you, Oksana, but I feel that it was you waiting for me. And it was like, I see there was movement talking. I was, oh, what a beautiful light. I was looking this stairs. I have to come up or not? It was amazing. But it was amazing. And I feel I was flying. I was flying, literally see forests,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I was, wow. I was like, it was so real that when I wake up quicker, so what is the time? What is the time? And I felt I was still flying. Really.
Very
I was
normal.
high. So, really.
Oksana's like, that's normal. So.
Yeah, that's totally.
Eye in the sky.
I love it. Oksana, you ladies are just so insightful and enlightened. And thank you so much for joining the show today. And I'll be in touch with you. God bless.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.